Hello, welcome back to Tarot by Andy. Thank you for being here. This is my vibrational reading. Please do your own research for entertainment purposes and allegedly. Hello, you guys. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and thank you for being here. Just want to remind you that on Thursday, the 11th of this month, I'll be filming with HG Tutor. I'm sure he will be uploading it probably within 24 or 48 hours. Depends on if he wants to do a little teaser or not. That's up to him. Just want to remind you on that. What else is going on? Well, this morning I got a very pleasant, a happy text from Samantha Markle. She inboxed me an article from Fox News that Harry has filed for divorce. Yes, you heard that right. My reaction was, sweet Jesus, about time. We knew this was coming. It should have leaked out about a month ago. The article is dated from June. I don't know where it got buried or what, but definitely I do think that things are being hammered out privately behind doors. And so that's how I feel about it. I think they would be willing to keep up some appearances until all of that is hammered out. I do know of several couples that actually live together during the process of divorce. However, I don't think they are. Let's see. For starters, in the laws of California, it'd be dictated by the laws of California because they've been living in California, because I did listen to a lawyer. Anyways, so the residence requirements is 6 months to be living in the county, and then they've been living in Santa Barbara County for at least 3 years that we know of, even though they live separately. The fact that they actually claimed a place, it would be in that county. They could agree on a different jurisdiction, which would be more complicated, which could be the case, Harry wanting things to go more in his favor, doing it in the UK. So I can see that being an issue, possibly an angle, but would take more time, more complicated. That might be why nothing's dropped, why it's been silent, why we haven't heard anything just yet, even though all those little tidbits were kind of leaking out, kind of indicating it. Property division, assets during marriage, and what's inherited is another issue. We know he spent and blew through his own personal Diana money, which he probably thought was $300 million, but ended up only being $30 million, so the joke's on her. Assets is not going to be a huge problem because they actually work together as a joint. So it makes things a little bit different in that area. And then we have here, what else? I have here privacy and media attention. Yeah, they're going to want to avoid that. They can do that to prioritize themselves and their needs to navigate around that. That could be through the alternative dispute system, which is mediation out of the public eye, getting the resolution, and to remove the mayhem from the public eye. So I think that's what's happening here. Alimony, spousal support, they work jointly, so it's going to be a non-issue for them. What else do I have here? Premarital agreement, if that would be, if there was, if he had that in writing. I don't think he did, so that's not going to be an issue. He's going to be in problem there because he did not do that, so that was dumb of him. What else? So yeah, the child custody, the premarital agreement, the support. I think she will go for some money support, obviously, because she's a grifter and she's a greedy, you-know-what. So yeah. But that premarital would have solved a lot of issues, with the exception of children and support for children, which we don't believe they even have any. So that probably won't be a problem either. And then lastly, the court will try to get them to enforce the orders placed on them, and they must follow and abide by. So that's how I see that. I did a little digging on that. So anyways, I know he's probably quite petulant. I know it put out that he wants to put out a book on his father when his father's dead. Let's just get some general vibe energy on this about how this divorce. Let's get some divorce cards here, some divorce cards. Divorce read. Energy on the divorce. I feel it has quietly, definitely been being hammered out for quite some time. I think they've gone back and forth fighting and arguing about it for a good probably 1.5 years, 2 years now. Maybe it's coming to a head now to where eventually they should be announcing it. I would say within the next couple months probably. So it has to be at some point. I think they're going to wait till it's fully done. And then they can just say, well, it's already been done. The war was done behind the curtain. I don't think he wants a career, she wants a career, and I think this is so that they can have something afterwards. A lot of people on X are saying that if he did divorce Meghan, you know, a lot of people might start forgiving him. That has been said as well, just FYI. I know a lot of people, it wouldn't matter. It doesn't matter what he does. But some people believe, some people would have compassion and empathy for him. So that's just a whole another day, another read, okay? What level? I don't think that's going to be high numbers of people. I think too many people find him unredeemable, you know, irredeemable because of what he did to Queen Elizabeth and Philip during their last days. Just makes him unforgivable at that point. So I think based on that, I don't think a lot of them would. And the fact that he wrote the book. Had he not done Spare, had they not done Oprah, and he just kind of did some media lashing of his mouth, smearing, possibly. But the fact that he took it to a different level puts him in the red zone as far as I'm concerned. So let's get some cards on the divorce. This divorce. Give me some energy on this divorce. Give me some energies on a divorce between Meghan and Harry. I say it's going to be, it's probably been the War of the Roses behind the curtain, and this is what they want to hide. So they went down the wrong road. I'm going to put that there and take from there. So here we go. So yeah, things aren't going well. Return to your old values. So yeah, her old values would be returning back to her Soho House days. There was no success. No successes came in. They've tried and failed. They're absolute global failures. They've been quite uncooperative with each other, and there's absolutely been not much good collaboration between them. It's been delayed. So it's been delayed. There's been a bit of inaction. It's been sitting there, and they didn't work on it. They just kept probably arguing and arguing because one person doesn't want out. One person, Meghan, wants to keep things going until she gets what she wants, until her residual benefits and all the things she puts out there finally come to fruition. Waiting for for a solid foundation, a solid job where people are celebrating her and what she put into effort starts paying off. That's what she was hoping for. But Harry, I think, just wanted out. He wasn't going to ride the wave with her anymore. He was done riding California waves with her, and he doesn't want to ride on any more surfboards with her. So it's just a lack of growth, expansion between them. There has been nothing good. He sees nothing good, but she obviously doesn't want to return to her values. That's why it has been, basically almost like a shelf dynamic with the divorce is kind of how I feel about that. So let's get to the challenging position. Challenging position. Challenging. No, that's the under the deck. Sorry. That's well, no, that was actually, what was that? No, that was the first pull. God. Get ahead of myself. There we go. Challenging position. I'm on it. I'm on it. Don't worry about me. I'm just excited. So many people, we're so tired of it, you guys. Trust me. Oh, the marriage. So yes, it was a failed. That was a reverse. Now I have it right. So yes, it was a failed marriage. And this is about family values. It was a failed family values experiment between the two of them. The hierarchy. They failed at getting their own royal house in California. They failed at rising up like they thought they would. They thought they can climb the ladder of Hollywood success and get the light and grab the highlight and get the top-notch echelon sort of look where people would approve them. And they could be top hierarchy and get all the, get everything, being very ceremonial and have everybody look up to them and worship them almost and bow down at their knees and being sort of these gurus because they're royal. Well, they failed at that. They really thought, that turned out, that's actually reversed. They actually thought that they can get that. They actually thought people would embrace that. They thought wrong. So basically it's a challenge. It's a challenge for Harry to get back and get the acceptance of his family. So this is the challenge for him. Well, if I divorce, are they going to take me back? Will UK take me back? Will I ever get back to being in the family again? Focal point. Ooh, that flipped. Focal point. Focal point for Harry. He's the one who filed. Harry is the one who wants out. And people always said he would not do it. But I've been getting for the longest time he's wanted out. Harry has not learned anything. So basically, he knows he married her and he went down he rode the wrong way, except thinking things would improve for him, and they didn't. He didn't take advice. The Hermit in reverse is, I didn't listen to my elders and I did the stupid thing. He knows he did the stupid thing. He should have followed the wisdom and advice that was given to him with the upright, but he refused. So lonely Harry, extreme loneliness, isolation, which he's been pissing and moaning and complaining about quite often lately. That he has no friends, he never sees anybody, he has nobody, he doesn't have the work skills, he doesn't have the trade skills, he's got nothing. So he's completely in the dark, he has nowhere to go, nothing has changed, he can't shed what he's done. He would like to fully remove himself. You know, upright, you remove yourself, but in reverse, you're in complete total isolation. The marriage has been incredibly isolating and away from his family. He's challenged to get back, is what that says. He didn't gain a lot of knowledge because he isn't too smart. The reflection, he hasn't quite done the soul searching, and that's the reason why he ended up with her. He didn't follow therapist advice, because the Hermit upright is, you listen to a therapist, you listen to advice. He would not even listen to a therapist. Even when he was challenged when there was no growth. They did challenge him in therapy, but he just didn't heed the warning. And he realizes, I think, that he screwed up himself here. Too late, though. Let's get to the past position that doesn't serve. Past position that doesn't serve. Conflict. He didn't want the conflict. He didn't want people knowing the truth. That is the truth. Having that clear insight. He didn't want anyone knowing the absolute truth. He knows the truth. He wasn't willing to share it. He wasn't willing to do it because it's too much of a mental conflict strategy. It could be harsh words, cutting out, surgically removing yourself. He just wasn't ready. All right, so going into the future. He knows that she's a very psychopathic energy here. What I have here is with the High Priestess in reverse is very, she's not your friend. She's very antisocial. With the Queen of Swords here in reverse, she's absolutely cruel, ruthless, maliciousness, and he simply can't cope being with the Queen of Swords woman in reverse because she's very, very heartless. She's very deceiving. She's terrifying. She's that Ice Queen cruelty with zero heart, very dependent on the psychopathy and keeping the secrets, and all the secrets are coming out with the High Priestess in reverse, and he simply can't cope that more and more is coming out about her. He knows about all of this, and yet he still married her. He knew this. He didn't follow the advice. He knew what he married. He did know what he married. He was not caught off guard. But he went ahead anyways because he wanted to get revenge. Through her antisocial behavior, her lack of coping, he knew that she was going to do this, that if she couldn't be top dog, then he would be isolated, and then she would remove him and create a conflict with the family. Hidden energy. It was all about money, focused on money and getting where she wanted to be comfortable. And then he thought he'd be comfortable, that she said, oh, we can elevate ourselves, we can rise up. And, you know, I know how to do this. You know, we need to find a more comfortable environment. Let's cut out, let's create this conflict. Let's talk about, well, why am I doing that royal? You want me to do this royal duty and I'm not being paid for this? And Harry made Harry feel like he was in a very dark place, and she created the conflict over being a working royal. And with that, she wanted more fulfillment. She wanted more of a cornucopia, and was trying to challenge the family on the cornucopia, and that Harry was in this dark place. And she created that within his mind to create a darker Harry through isolation, separation of the narcissist mind, and her antisocial is what we know. That's classic of what they do. Let's get to the feelings in the situation. It was a fail. It was a fail. It's just too much negative fuel with the Six of Wands in reverse. It was a failed marriage, very defeated, glowing down. They went down the wrong path. They're feeling ignored. They're feeling ignored by the family. Harry's feeling ignored. Very negative fuel, a very superficial win of whatever cruelty that she implemented and got him to create that conflict within himself, which created that complete, total, utter, you know, idiotic mind. That's that dim Harry here we have here. He was very easy to get that conflict going in his mind. I think she always knew she could milk him for money and psychopathically spend all his money to the point where there's no money left with that Two of Pentacles in reverse. Just, you know, she thought she was going to get a lot more too. That Two of Pentacles isn't that much money, and she just completely drained it with her cruelty. And in order to try and get some negative fuel by putting out those media sources, thinking that it would give her lots of money. The Nine of Pentacles is about trying to get security and financial wealth. It's really about focusing on your career and getting money. She was all about her career and elevating herself to top dog position. Outside influences for Megan and Harry. Whoa. Plans. They've been planning this for a while now. Yep, this failure of the marriage and the plan has been worked on. They're trying to figure out where their path is now next. She's wondering, what do I do now with my psychopathy, my lack of ability to work with anyone, not coping or being a team player, with that Two of Pentacles in reverse. You know, she can't adapt very well. She doesn't like small gains. She wants big, massive financial gains. She wants it to get to the Ten of Pentacles, from the Nine of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles for generations and generations, and she must be top dog. And so she's planning that. It's always been about a plan for her. And so she's going to just plan and carry on is what she's going to do. And if she has to use negative fuel to get it, she'll get it because it's more powerful than positive fuel. And she doesn't care that Harry is left in the absolute dark here of loneliness, isolation, and misery, and lots of panic and anxiety. This here with the Hermit in reverse is severe panic, generalized anxiety disorder position. Hopes and fears. Yep, putting out the negative message. The negative message of splitting up. That they were immature, they lost inspiration for each other, they lacked emotional connections together, they weren't getting their needs met. It was not an idealistic, perfect marriage. There was no surprise pregnancy. There was no self-love there. They had their head up in the clouds and it turned very dark. So those heads up in the clouds turned into a very dark walking cloud everywhere he went. Complete loneliness, isolation, high paranoia, generalized anxiety, panic attacks, with absolutely a dark cloud looming over him. To the point he had no spark in his life, no new beginnings. It wasn't the beginning of rising up like she made him think. And she lied to him about a surprise pregnancy, and there was no pregnancy, and there was no birth of a child. So they've got that problem on their hands. Final outcome. Wow, that wanted out. Final outcome. Harry's not a father. He's not a father. He never was a father. He hasn't been a father, so that's going to be a problem, the fact they don't have kids. Also, he can't get back into the royal family. The Emperor is my royal family card. He made the family very depressed. He made King Charles very depressed. He can never heal, purify, and cleanse that relationship. And Harry was never a father. Plus, he also, out of depressive energy, wants to take down his father because Harry has to stay in the shadows of his father, which doesn't make Harry happy. That's why Harry's a very sick, depressed individual that the royal family wants to avoid, and they're not going to fix his problems for him and give him exactly what he wants. All the truths are going to come out. With the Seven of Cups, the reality and fantasy are colliding. That Harry was never a father who glowed up in fatherhood, who never did nurture, seed, or grow children, became a burden. And he needs help with the Ten of Wands. So with the Ten of Wands is feeling oppressed. He felt very oppressed. He also felt oppressed by being in the royal family. He's going to say he didn't have a good relationship with his father. He just felt like he always wasn't good enough. as a royal, or because he's a spare. This is the spare problem of his petulance that we know, which burdened him, that he knew that he could never fantasize about being the next king of England, which made him a very depressive, sick person with the sun in reverse, who basically went down this rocky path in life, being told, no, you'll never be king of England. That's why Meghan promised it, that we can get this cornucopia, just pull you away in total isolations, follow me, we will get it. But it turned out to be nothing but negativity in that path, and nothing idealistic came their way. So he became very burdened and needing help. And this is why he speaks so much ill of his father, because he's hoping that through saying negativity, people will approve him and then bring him back to give him what he wants with the Three of Pentacles, which with the Three of Pentacles would be the get the ideas to fruition and basically get some recognition. Through doing toxic behavior, gave him attention, hoping that he could grow something so that maybe they would do something for him, because as we know, they always were fixing things. But he needed this upright, because the Emperor upright, or the King of Wands upright, some of the kings upright, can fix your problems. Here, they're not willing to fix it. No, you can scream all you want, you can chit-chat all you want, you can gossip all you want, have conversations all you want. This isn't going to happen the way you want it. And he lands on a Ten of Cups in reverse, a shattered emotional family that he broke. And he is in communication about getting the divorce from Meghan. The Ten of Cups in reverse is a failed attempt at getting your happy ever after. His family dreams were never realized with Meghan. There never was a birth of children. He always had this looming dark cloud. He can never purify or heal or fix it. All that's coming out with that Seven with certainty. Upright Seven is uncertain, challenging test. He's tired of the challenging test of keeping this a secret. With that Seven of Cups in reverse is that just the ugly realities coming out. The lies are coming out. It's not grounded in reality. It was very wishful thinking, and what a burden it was. And a lot of stress here, too many responsibilities. He cannot heal himself. He cannot glow up. He's just a very sick person. He's mentally sick. He was gaslighting himself, gaslighting her, gaslighting the world, really gaslighting himself to think that he could be king, or a king of anything, or that he could be respected, or that he could be seen as this father figure of initiating, getting worldly success. She made him think that he could elevate to that level in California, but it all just lands on being completely shattered and a divorce here, and making a negative announcement almost, to the point where there's nothing to celebrate. There is no reunions. He's not going to get that happy ever after reunion with the monarchy. So I think he's hoping with this divorce filing that he can get it, because he's challenged to get it, but it's saying, no, you're never going to get what you want, and no, we're not going to fix it for you. I'm not going to restore order for you through master manipulation. It would only be restored order to get him back being the way he wants it with the Ten of Cups upright. It has to be done with complete overreach of power and manipulation, and a negative presence, and an abusive leader. But it's in reverse. Charles is not going to restore the order for Harry, because if he did, he would not be respected. He is the father figure of Harry, but he's not going to restore and fix his sick son. He knows his sick son has always communicated these kind of energies, so he's not shocked. And this is a habitual problem with Harry. Harry's always been a conflict. Harry's always initiated this energy here. I'm going to leave one day. Harry gave threats of estrangement, and I'm leaving the family. Harry always wanted to bump his brother off. I want mommy's attention. I'm going to kick him in the shins because I want mommy all to myself. He's always created these insights of conflict. Because he doesn't like being the spare with the sun in reverse. He doesn't want to be in the shadows of his brother or his father. And that's why he's always been hell-bent and communicated that he was going to shatter the family emotionally. He's always been this lonely, isolated, dim-witted Harry, because Hermit in reverse would be very dim-witted, And he knows he's a bit dim-witted, and he knows that he is petulant and doesn't take advice because he has ADHD, he has arrested development, my needs weren't met, so I'm going to put out some negative messages because I'm arrested development, I don't take advice, no therapy can fix me. So he's borderline personality is very hard to treat. They're treatment resistant. He has very treatment resistant. He's always been a negative message to the family, and they've always known about it. They've always tried to help him with the Three of Pentacles. That Three of Pentacles is putting efforts so he can feel like he's getting some rewards from any work, but it was never enough, never enough. Always more conflict because he's never mentally grown up. He is that page boy in reverse, 0 to 12. In reverse, even worse. He's like a 4-year-old here, okay? We're talking about a very wounded, lost child. Very poor emotional growth. He will never emotionally grow. He doesn't have the emotional IQ. He's got the IQ, the emotional IQ of a child. And he will remain so. He doesn't have any peaceful energy in him. If he had emotional IQ upright, he would be able to find mental peace. He can never find mental peace. He will always have that panic anxiety of ignorance and always starting arguments with family. Having family and keeping family is very difficult for Harry. It is a challenge for him to stay connected and keep them in a positive way where he doesn't split, dehumanize them, blame shift through his splitting, his depersonalization, derealization. He has a bit of cognitive dissonance going on because he knows what he's doing, but yet he can't stop himself. He wants in, but he wants to take him down. That's cognitive dissonance. That's holding two different belief systems at once and being at war with yourself. So that's what I see on the table. I hope you enjoyed this. Till next time, like and subscribe. Bye, you guys.